Hello, everyone, and welcome back once again to Gary's Mod. And today, the map we're going to be exploring is RP Isolation. What appears to be a normal town covered in snow in the aftermath of some kind of disaster. This is already combining one of my favorite comfy vibes with, well, one of my favorite creepy vibes as well. A snow-covered street lit by sodium vapor lamps. And post-apocalyptic. Not only that, but recently post-apocalyptic. Look, there's still lights coming out of the church, suggesting that maybe this was some kind of evacuation point? I've said it before, but I really do feel that wintertime is an underutilized setting for horror. I mean, look at the imagery it produces. Dead branches swaying wildly in the breeze. Our visibility limited by the snowfall and the fog rising up off the streets. And all the while, it provides that sense of calmness, but also hostility. I mean, snow, of course, tends to dampen sound. Everything is so dead silent after a blizzard. And you're comfy in your house, but all the while, when you're inside, you feel safe and warm and insulated from what's out there. And the horror can come from either what's out there coming in, or you having to go out there to meet it. Now, as with any post-apocalyptic story, the question you always ask is, well, what happened to the kids? And sometimes all a thing has to do to remind you of a bad outcome is just to remind you that they do in fact exist. So many things just skirt around that issue. Although I'm not complaining about not having to see it. Now, of course, it begs the question of, if something like this did happen, something that they had the opportunity to prepare for, how come there aren't too many signs of violence? Over there actually looks like some sort of military barricade. Yeah, like some kind of processing checkpoint. Oh, and we can open it. Now, I am running with a couple of new mods that some of you on the Discord suggested. Oh, that's creative. Using the light is... Maybe this is supposed to be like a metal detector? Quarantine showers. Yep, this was for coming in and out. But then again, all of this is on this side. Of course, those who play Project Zomboid know that just because there's a wall here doesn't mean it breaks the virus. Okay, so that confirms it's not just using Left 4 Dead assets that is the story of this map. Well, I guess that about confirms how well the quarantine worked. Fire danger low today. Yeah, if only that were the only danger. Oh, that is so cool. Look at that. See, that's what I was talking about. This hostile feeling environment that would otherwise be comfy and associated with the feelings of the holidays. Now you look outside the danger and think, I might as well stay because where would I even go? I love map creators who go the extra mile to have tree assets that sway in the breeze. I mean, these are doing something a little bit funky there. That's a little bit weird, but I still like it anyway. Let's go back inside. We'll trade food for ammo. Now there's an idea. I guess if a town is quarantined, after the military leaves, any survivors left behind could use this wall to their advantage. Let's just close that, just in case we anger the neighbors. And let's get to exploring this town. Now, the download size for this map was actually quite large. It was about 1 gig. Oh, and also, the link in the description will be to the fixed version. I had to download a version with navmesh, and apparently it's a re-upload of some older map that was broken. But let's go up here and have a look at what's going on in the church. Can we open these doors? Oh, we can. This place was all ready for Christmas, but in the end, it seems like it served as a place to house refugees. I'm not seeing any blood, which I suppose is a good thing. Imagine being excited for Christmas, maybe you're all prepared for the holidays, and then something happens, you don't even know what, but you know that everyone is rushing here for shelter. You're all on the floor, the pews having been broken up for barricades, just huddled together with your friends and neighbors, sitting room only, listening to the sounds of things happening outside, screaming and moaning or whatever was going on. And then only silence except for the creaks and groans of the wood. Being religious, I wonder if you'd think it had some kind of religious significance. Yeah, of course I recognize this whole area from Left 4 Dead, but I'm not sure if the rest of the map will be the same. Ooh. This might not have just been everyone scared huddled in the church. This might have actually been a government evac point. Can't interact with this screen. But it looks like they were doing some kind of work out in the churchyard. Maybe using this trailer as an outpost? Thank you for reminding me, game, that I have to get one of these electric lanterns. One of the comfiest of lighting methods. Since apparently we're not using the ones overhead here. What a great place to put a sleeping bag on the floor, lie on your back, and watch the snow fall. Ooh. Although those branches almost look like a hand reaching out, a long, slender, bony thing. See, these are the kind of details that make you appreciate a map for what it is, for the story it's telling you. Gonna need the flashlight for this one. Yeah, they had set up a whole thing back here. I wonder if they thought that maybe there was more dignity in a churchyard than some random plot of land. Maybe this was their way of trying to do something right, for all they could do. I'm really excited for this. It's been a while since I've gotten the opportunity to explore a really big map. I feel like I've been having a hard time finding them lately. Oh, this back window is broken. Now, this seems like it would make a really good zombie survival map, but it is RP. Now, those things aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. There's, of course, a lot you can do with this concept, but I feel like something like this, rather than like Zombie Panic or something like that, would be more suited to like a longer-term survival. Like, not just survivors trying to fight player zombies, but you know, just trying to manage people and deal with an ever-growing threat. SOS. You may want to exclude that displacement from having that wrap over. Wait, can we actually come out here? Oh, wow, we can! Everything that I think is going to be a boundary so far has actually allowed me to traverse. Oh, look at that big full moon illuminating the mountaintops. That is so freaky. I hate the way the actual trunks bend over. Oh, but as with before, this somehow feels even less safe. I'm gonna go back into town and... Or should I follow this? I don't know how big this is. Am I going to something else entirely, or am I just walking out into the wilderness? Thanks to its use of Leopard Dead assets, I almost consider this to take place in the same universe as... Oh, what was the name of the map that I played? It also had a lot of Leopard Dead assets, but it took place in the forest and it wasn't wintertime. But it also had a similar premise. It took place in the aftermath of what could have been a zombie outbreak. Oh. Almost looked like a tall, dark man standing there. Look how the peak almost resembles a hat. Oh. Is this a train station? Oh, this is a big map. You know what else would be a fun idea? Since they're all kind of connected by the idea of having a pandemic and a rail yard, I think it would be cool if that other Left 4 Dead-ish map I played, and RP Asheville are all the same universe. I think that would be fun. RP Asheville, of course, got by far the worst of this. That was such a special map. I feel like Asheville was such a turning point for this channel, because I think it showed me what you can get out of Gary's mod. It showed me what a scenic map can really be. I mean, it was huge, and walking around, having it take hours, it felt like a whole adventure. I'm getting similar vibes from this already, only this feels some kind of cozy. While the other had so much death and decay that you could practically smell it, this almost feels like you're walking into the same sort of aftermath, but it's the kind of place I wouldn't mind sitting down for a while. It had violence at one point, but now that's moved on, and I can do something with this. This gate. Breaking this quarantine is a lot easier than you would think. This tank did not do very well. Love to know how the zombies managed that. Like, look, I can see it being abandoned. Not very useful in a zombie apocalypse, but, like, come on. How did they destroy it? Let's have a look to see if there's any gas to go around. I don't know what it is. Something about the way my light is interacting with this environment just feels really spooky. Just got scared by a fly buzzing in my ear. Come on, close. Close. No. Okay. I'm too lazy to walk 2 more steps. I mean, look, the way it catches in that doorway, it's like you can just imagine the darkness just around the corner. Now, one of the mods that I'm using actually allows for easier pickup of items, and that was, I mean, I don't know if it'll come across in the video, but that was significantly easier. Normally, it's actually quite a bit of work to pick up something small like this. That is cool and useful going forward. Downside, we still have that annoying bug, so now I'll be unable to turn off this flashlight. Funny how the snow still falls inside. That's the kind of thing that would have me hoping that this is more of a nightmare than a reality. You ever have one of those dreams? The kind of dream where you wake up and then you're for a moment not sure if that really happened, and you have to think, did that really happen? Oh no, okay, I'm good. Some of the worst memories I have, though, are the times where you wake up and you're like, oh yeah, that thing yesterday? No, that really did happen. Those times where you sort of have hope that it was a dream, and then you think for a second and realize it wasn't. Alright, now let's keep moving. Probably want to take this one street at a time. Wow, it's a whole town. It's not just one block. These camping lanterns makes me think that the power must have gone out at some point for people to be resorting to these, right? Yet the signs still remain. If you're not one of us, you're one of them. Yeah, I mean, think back to 28 weeks later. In a situation like this, kindness can get you killed. Letting in someone who's sick, everyone trying to form their own quarantine and being worried about breaking it. Oh, look, it seems like at a certain point, they ran out of body bags, but still had to bury them nonetheless. I mean, look at this town. In the right context, if you were to point your camera in the right direction, you would almost think of it as like a Norman Rockwell painting. And you turn to your side and see something like this, or like that scene over there. And that's what Creepy and Comfy is all about. It's all about that juxtaposition. Of course, it's not always juxtaposition. Sometimes the two things can coexist in a way that's actually complementary. Like how I've been saying, some of these places look like they'd be a nice spot to sit down. This, however, oddly enough, even though it appears to be like some kind of actual post-fall enclave, something about it just makes it feel so hostile. The slapdash nature, the crude wood construction and metal sheets. I don't even know where to go from here, but I can certainly see the RP potential. One of my favorite things about The Walking Dead is how you have the collapse of society and sort of the new societies that build up once people realize that the old one isn't coming back. People take this thing different ways. This feels like it would be where you get escorted when you need to have a meeting with the boss man. And this is where Boss Man would live. Can we open these windows? No, we can't, sadly. That's a shame. They look so openable. They look openable in a way where you could crouch jump through them. That's why I was so excited. This whole place has kind of a back alley feel. It's kind of amazing how by closing off the street like this and filling it with things, they make it feel that way. But it seems like the back alley's got a back alley. And the back alley's got a back alley's got a back alley. I wonder what kind of commerce you'd get up to in this kind of environment. Weapons, food. But then again, in a closed space like this, what kind of goods would be actually scavengeable? The safe room cannot be opened. I do wonder, since it's been so long since I played, if this isn't just a direct rip of that one Left 4 Dead map with more stuff added on top of it. Ooh, can we actually get in there? We can. Ooh. This almost feels like it could be turned into a prison. People who couldn't pay their debt. Now this is cool because everything looks like it's just set up for Christmas still, but it's sort of making me wonder, maybe they don't go to that part of town. Then again, a snowman up, I'm getting mixed messages here. So basically we have things that suggest this just happened, and we have other things that suggest it's been some time since the fall. Unless maybe there's more than one fall. Maybe there's the one that happened when society initially collapsed, And then what we're actually walking through is the aftermath of the second fall, the fall of the community that was built within this town. No, the king lives here. And the king runs here. See, now that's the kind of thing that would make you a big shot. Just having a warm fire to sit in front of. We'll trade food for ammo. So, yeah, that pretty much confirms this isn't just your average lethal pandemic. This was zombies. Either that or hostile raiders were enough of a thing. I mean, imagine having ammo be in shorter supply than food during a pandemic. The things that are useful, the things that become useless. Although, you'd think they'd make better use of the insulated buildings. Something these shacks sorely lack. Stallion, broken heart, and terror. Arr. It must be about ghost pirates. Okay, let me explain to you what just happened to me. I walked in here and was creeped out by the fact that you walk into the movie theater and there's not even locked doors to other sections. I was about to crack some kind of joke about, what am I playing, the VR version of the theater? I turn around, and okay, it's pants. It's pants. The legs kind of part, but when you back up, it sort of looks like a window with a light on and a silhouette standing in it. And that's the reason why I was scared by pants. How do we get up there? There's got to be a ladder somewhere, right? Not inside there. Maybe stairs? Ooh, I see. I see. The balcony has collapsed. So I bet if we go over here, yeah. That's one of those features that you just have to roll with. See, when it comes to apocalypse bases, I think the reason, build your base ideas are so popular is because we never really lose that childhood desire to build something comfortable and safe. I mean, kids love forts. That's just a scientifically verifiable fact. And I think that's part of why apocalypse media is so popular as well. Because as an adult, we want reasons to build forts, but it's still really just about the forts. Oh, this is cool. So much detail. It's an absolutely gorgeous map. Ooh, and we can climb up into here. Oop. Where do these go? Climbing up on all these balconies and ladders sort of feels like playing The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. There's a whole setup up here. Bathrooms. Yeah, side things like this are always bathrooms. One moment while I check the stalls, because I never learn. Alright, well, we made our way through Rust City. Now, what is it going to look like when we exit on the other side? It looks like they have some kind of airlock here. I wonder if there's a way to open that. But up and over might be our only option for now. I'll listen to that wind pickup. No CETA, no military, stay out. The relationship with the old government is also a difference you see amongst people in an apocalyptic scenario. Something I've been talking about for when NPCs make their way into Project Zomboid is I think that clothing should matter. Like, I think in the early days of the apocalypse, if you show up and meet NPCs while you're wearing, like, police or military clothes, they should essentially immediately accept you as leader of the group. Try that crap, like, 6 months in, you might get shot on sight. Pine Creek Lodge, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Now this is the place you want. Solid walls, a fireplace, plenty of space, and a basement to huddle in. Then again, as Night of the Living Dead teaches us, basements are not a good idea when there's zombies about. Nor are hidden extra rooms. I hate rooms under stairs, especially in basements. But as stair rooms go, this one wasn't too bad. One of my favorite parts of something like Project Zomboid is the first time you arrive at a house that you intend to make your own. It's a place that you're going to come to associate with safety, but first you've got to look around, unsure which rooms will kill you. Okay, these stairs are clipped, so why aren't some of the other ones? Also, your fire is spilling out of the fireplace a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. This door was already opened, which always gives me a creepy feeling when I'm exploring. Normally, all doors are closed by default, so when I find one already open in a place where I haven't been, it kind of makes me feel like there's somebody else exploring this map. Somebody I just haven't encountered yet, which is one of the anxieties that I've expressed with regards to a lot of liminal space maps. Oh my god! Jesus! Oh, screw you, Smokey. Oh, man. Alright. Man, these streets actually go off a ways in every direction. Fire danger low today. You're about to be fired, Smokey. Of course, if you're desperate enough coming out from the cold, maybe not welcome in town, a place like this might be your last hope, and as far as shelter goes, I suppose it's not the worst thing. Let's head over here and see. Yeah, picnic area, and it looks like someone did at least try to make camp here. Ooh, a frozen little pond. I'm assuming I'll be okay if I walk on this, but my instinct is telling me not to. A comfy, cozy cabin. Nothing bad can happen at a comfy, cozy cabin, especially one with the door already open, with all that I just said in mind. Ooh. Oh, look at the detail in this. This is actually one of the more realistic abandoned environments that I've seen in Gary's mod. The grime all over everything, not a single intact window. But nevertheless, if you're the lowest rung, like I said, completely unwelcome in town, this may be the best you could do. And I imagine anything can feel pretty comfortable when you're coming in from this cold. Alright, let's try and make our way back into town. Maybe come up that other opposite street. I've only gone 10 feet and I already feel so lost. These trees swaying all over, making me really anxious because it's like there's movement in the dark everywhere I look. And everywhere I don't look. I saw that displacement. But here we are. feel like the moon is watching me. There's a creepy sentence if I ever heard one. Man, you ever say something or look at things a certain way and then creep yourself out? Man. Closed door behind me for whatever imaginary creatures may be giving chase. Let me in. And we're back. And I believe there were 2 main streets, so this probably leads back to the church. Yeah, there's the window of that office building we were in before. Can we get in here? That door looks 3D. No? It also looks boarded up, so I could have seen that coming. But look. I'd have to wonder how many people in a situation like this wouldn't just hunker down in their own home. I mean, with the place already sealed off, even if the house itself isn't that defensible, it would provide the largest measure of comfort. And you might actually be pretty safe, given the circumstances of this particular town. Something I'll sometimes do in Project Zomboid is try and survive within my own house. Something I'll do even if I do move base is sometimes I'll go back on a mission to retrieve my own bed. This is my kind of house. Not too much open space, just small and comfortable. Although I do definitely prefer glass on showers to curtains. Curtains are anxiety-fueled, to say the least, whether approaching or standing within. That's weird. Shingles over what obviously would have been windows. That's not even a barricade job. Perhaps some kind of attic? The ambient sounds really go a long way to making even being near a fire feel so comforting. But we can't go all the way upstairs. Sorry if the performance isn't great on this map. I'm noticing a little bit of a drop in my own headset, so hopefully it's not too bad for you. Actually, I'll check that. I always feel like such a creep going around just looking in people's windows. Come on, open up. There we are. Now this feels like a comfy space if you can fill it with people. Have some sitting out in the halls as well. Very uncomfy if you can't. Lots of blind corners. I'd be worried about shadow people peeking in the windows or around these walls. The missing door doesn't help either. That probably does more harm than good when it comes to trying to heat a space. Seems like none of these two-story homes are actually accessible on the second story. Which is kind of a weird sight once you notice the pattern. I mean, it's probably just not wanting to have to create those floors, but still. Dark. You know, although candles in a situation like this, I got jump scared by a door, do sort of represent a degradation of utilities. I do love doing things by candlelight, to be honest. Years ago, I think it was 2003, there was a big blackout, and we were doing everything by candlelight, and then towards the end of the night, the power came back on, and I asked my parents to turn out all the lights so we could do things by candlelight for a little while longer. That was always me, I guess. But we find ourselves right back here. Now, I was about to start exploring parts unknown. I think this is that park from before, yeah. But I do kind of wonder what happens if we try to wrap around through this guy's yard. Oh, this is actually a whole building. It's not a house. Oh, there's another street. Streetlight still going, still doing good work. Great. Now this, okay, it is sort of a house. This is the house you want to have. And it looks like somebody else agreed because they went and boarded it up. Sort of makes me wonder if they didn't leave, not wanting anyone to touch it, or if they decided they were going to seal themselves inside and make it their tomb. There's always been something so creepy about a completely deserted main street. I kind of want to travel like the Midwest just to drive through some of these towns. Never actually been any farther west than Chicago, and that was quite a major outlier. Didn't really do any sightseeing either. I was there for a reason. Wow, this place is completely fallen apart. No circumstance could make this place worth staying in. It's just too open. You'd never be able to trap any heat. Then again, I suppose, while not useful for living, that same fact may make it useful for hiding, if need be. Only thing is, you can only hide for so long. Now that house looks creepy. Even creepier when I can actually make out its features. Yeah, look. It's like this entire outer block is completely burned down. The chimney even fell on the wreck of that car. Oh, I love details like this. Details where you can just take a look at it and imagine what happened. Even if it's something simple like this, I think engaging your brain that way makes the map itself so much more enjoyable to walk through. This is a false impression of a shed or garage, but it lies. Alright, now it's actually time to go explore parts unknown. And I feel like the only way to appropriately capture this mood is to do so by lantern light. Into the dark we go. Several of these roads, and I have to try them all. Those branches swaying in the dark stand out so much more like this. Oh, there's something over there. That looks like a dead end, so at least we do definitively know that this is some kind of map edge. I really have become that 1800s person out there in the freezing snow, trudging through the woods in a foot deep of snow with a lantern, just looking for any light on anywhere. I wonder if this is all just supposed to be radio station equipment, or if maybe there was someone still here monitoring things, even long after the supposed fall. This wouldn't be a bad hideout either if you're worried about people. Then again, having a tall object right next to you may not be ideal. The next thing we have to check is both sides of this railway platform, left and right. And since the direction I looked before was left, and I believe left will most likely be the shorter distance based on what I've seen, I vote we go this way first. This is the kind of thing I hope to be able to catch on film at some point. Those dark silhouettes against a not quite as dark sky. Oh, and look, framed perfectly in the middle, amid the canopy of trees, is a mountain. An incredibly tall one at that. I always get really nervous, feel my heart rate rise in those brief moments between the soundscape effects where the wind dies down and all I have is my own footsteps. I always feel the need to keep talking in situations like this because it will legitimately creep me out of my own room if I'm left to the silence for too long. I feel like as long as I'm talking, it feels like a YouTube video, at least as much as it can. It feels like I'm talking to an audience, but as soon as I stop talking, that's when I'm alone. Okay, some kind of bridge, but it looks like this is the end of the map. And that is quite a deep pit below. Not that my light can actually reach there. Oh, look at that. There's an image for you. Looks like something collapsed down there. Even my flashlight can't reach it, but it does look like something, maybe a train car rolled down the hill. Alright, well, back to lantern mode, and gotta walk the entire length of the map now. For your sake, I'll start us off back at the train station. Okay, train station right behind me, and ooh. Okay, luckily we have some kind of light fairly quickly. That'll do us pretty well. Ooh, and there's a whole building and everything. Some kind of, like, actual train platform? Maybe the thing back there was just some kind of, like, I don't know, maintenance or utility building? But this looks pretty inviting. Although I'm still no less creeped out by finding doors already open, in the most random of places, too. Can't jump up there, so I'll have to go in the front door. Very curious to know what was on that whiteboard I just glanced out of the corner of my eye. Very creepy how dark this loading bay is. It's like all light just falls off under this canopy. Somehow this big open space is worse than the even bigger open space about outside. Vending machines, though, that appear to have been completely looted. Nice touch. I almost wish I could understand what this was supposed to be a diagram of. Almost. Well, back on the road again. I'd almost hoped this would be a little bit more substantial, just so that I wouldn't be alone with my thoughts for so long on this long stretch of rail. Yeah, this is the kind of imagery that I can't help but be reminded of Hateful Eight, especially since I just rewatched it recently. That's a movie I really enjoyed. I actually find it, for a Tarantino film, to be really comfy. Unlike what I think I spy in front of me right now. Yeah, I like it because it can almost be listened to once you know everything that happens in it, like a radio play. Not to mention the scenery. Alright, so little cut here. Now is where I did initially go into the tunnel. However, in my no-clip run that I did after the end of the level, I did see something, which I believe I can access by going through the clearing off to the side of the train tracks right here. So let's raise our lantern and have a look. I believe it was off in this direction, but it was also a decent distance away. And when I spotted it, I don't know what it is yet, but it was too interesting to pass up. I don't know how that'll translate to you. I just saw like a white flash. Once the terrain starts looking like this, it starts to make me think that I've gone too far, that I'm not supposed to be here. I think that's the top of a tree, but for a second it almost looked like the silhouetted figure of something hunched over. No, it's the top of the tree, which means... Oh wow, we're up on a pretty tall hill. Let's try this again from a little bit closer to the tunnel. Is this... Ooh. Oh yeah, I would never have found this on my own. Hang on, open up. Open up. How do I get in here? Man, if only there was some kind of a way. Hey, look at that. Can we open it from this side? Ah, we can only access it from here. Now, I think the mod, one of the other ones I installed, actually makes buttons and such easier. Although I'm not sure if that'll actually enable me to use the keypad that way. Let's see if it actually works as intended. Ah, it does! Sweet, so I don't actually have to grip anymore. I can just actually physically push it with my hand. Cool. No clip, no clip, no clip, no clip on these stairs. Look at this. It's a whole bunker. I wonder if this doesn't maybe have something to do with the virus. You know, I feel like airlocks in games are meant to make you feel anxious about what's to come. But personally for me, they always feel like more of a breather. Like you know nothing can get you for a few seconds. Of course, that was turned on its head in Outlast. Have a little bit of a visual bug over there. But yeah, look, these are the luxury bunks. Complete with their own kitchen. Wear a face mask at all times. Do not remove your face mask for any reason. If you require assistance, please ask a seated staff member to help you. You know, people said The Walking Dead was unrealistic and people were stupid, but, you know, a year into COVID, we were all pretty much walking around trying to explain to idiots that it ain't like it was before, so... Yeah, it's a whole operation. Boss Man's office. Now this is the real Boss Man's office. All meant to be hidden away from the population of this town. They couldn't have built this for the outbreak. Either it was used or it was ground zero. I wonder what kind of work would have been done here. An interrogation room. Okay, this definitely suggests some serious shadiness going on here. Wait. Oh, we can actually put the base on lockdown. Even this place was decorated for Christmas. This actually sort of reminds me of the back areas in GMOD in the lab. This is actually not a bad place to spend a tired evening. You know, maybe not Christmas, where there's a little bit more pressure, but New Year's. Great place to chill for New Year. Hang on. What is that? What a really weird piece of geometry. Doesn't seem like there's anything back there, though. Alright, let's shut up that alarm. There we go. No, it's not stopped. Or is it? I don't know. Yeah, these are definitely cells. Containment units. Could have sworn I saw something right there, but maybe it was just a trick of the aliasing? Only now, nothing remains. I wonder if this thing didn't maybe start in town, and perhaps they tried to silence it at first? Take away infected until it became too much to handle? Well, I suppose that's all there is to this place for now, until I can get back up to the surface. Setting is such a big part of anything. That's why I emphasize setting so much in the creepy and comfy feeling. Why I think the wintertime is so underutilized. You know what's not underutilized? Dark, scary tunnels. For a second, I almost got jump scared by a flake of snow that my eye happened to catch on because I thought it was something reaching out of the darkness. I can almost feel like... See, this lantern has a little bit of weird weight to it, and I can almost feel it pushing back against me like it doesn't want to go in here. Oh, I don't like this at all. Is there something there? Thank goodness it's a train car. Thank goodness that this is where the map terminates. This was an absolutely fantastic map for the creepy and comfy feeling. I would like right now to just kneel down here and place the lantern beside me, but sadly we can't do that. This is one of those maps where almost everywhere I go, I feel like I could sit down and rest, and yet I never really felt safe. I love maps that activate that instinct in me to find a nice, quiet, warm corner. Something that gives some perceived sense of danger, both from the unknowns and the darkness and from the environment itself. A map where I can feel the conditions, know what I don't want, and therefore instinctively seek out something I do want. I feel like that's such a big part of comfort, is just obviously the absence of discomfort. And having something like rain or snow, environmental effects like that are normally ripe for horror, are also ripe for triggering, even if you don't feel safe, triggering that instinct to find safety. I think we've had a major breakthrough in the psychology of creepy and comfy. Well, if you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. If you have any ideas for other videos you think I should do, the best place to suggest that will be at the Discord, which I will link in the description. If you want to try this map out for yourself, that link will also be in the description. And as always, I will see you in the next one. This is the point where I would move on because I really, really do not like having that dark wall behind me. The slightly less dark wall ahead of me is preferable.